Let's be real. Have you ever actually thought about what you would do in an alien invasion? Chances are it's nothing like this. Today, we're going to break down the absolutely hilarious and deeply flawed survival plan from Ashish Chinchlani's Ekaki Invasion. It's a story that kind of proves that when the apocalypse hits, common sense is probably the first thing to go out the window.
I mean, this one line just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly sums up the sheer mind-numbing panic of the moment. You gotta remember, these aren't some hardened survival experts. They're just a bunch of friends. Probably their biggest worry an hour ago was who ate the last of the chips. And now this. The completely unimaginable is literally happening right outside their door.
So, what do you do when a UFO just lands in your backyard? Well, if you're this group, your first move is to try and convince yourself it's all just a weird dream. But, as the night goes on, that terrifying reality starts to sink in. This is definitely not a dream.
So they're peeking out the window, and they see the UFO's first move. It starts abducting local life. And this, right here, is where the pure panic-fueled comedy kicks in. Their big conclusion? The aliens are only taking the ugly ones. Which, of course, leads to one of the friends freaking out, convinced he's next, and making a mad dash to go hide somewhere.
Okay, so the alien threat is now 100% confirmed. It's real. So the friends all huddle up to brainstorm. Why are they here? What could they possibly want with them? And their theories, let me tell you, are just a wild ride fueled by pure terror and way too much pop culture.
You can just see their brains scrambling, trying to connect any dots they can find. It's this incredible mix of stuff they heard on the local news, global economics, and then just pure sci-fi fantasy. They're just so desperate to find some kind of rational explanation for something completely irrational. And the results are just comedy gold.
And get this, their thinking is so deeply programmed by Bollywood movies that they actually start a massive debate about the timelines of the Koi Mil Gaya and Krish franchises. No, I'm not kidding. In the middle of a potential alien invasion, their #1 concern is movie plot continuity. You just can't make this stuff up.
So after they've had their very thorough and very ridiculous debates about why the aliens are here, it's finally time to come up with a plan. But if you're picturing some kind of Hollywood survival epic, you might want to lower your expectations, just a little. This right here perfectly captures the giant gap between the problem and their solution. In the movies, the heroes are finding the aliens' one critical weakness. Our heroes, they're planning to dig a tunnel with spoons. And their big masterpiece idea? To wear mirrors on their heads to, and I'm quoting here, reflect the aliens' faces back at them. Genius.
Just when you think they have completely lost their minds, a tiny glimmer of sanity finally appears. It's like a moment of self-awareness breaks through all the panic, and they realize that their genius plan of digging a tunnel with kitchen cutlery might be just a little bit flawed.
All right, so with the grand spoon tunnel plan officially canceled, they move on to the next strategy. They've got to send someone out to scout. But who's going to be the guinea pig? Well, their process for picking someone is, let's just say it's as logical as it is absolutely chilling.
This priority list is a work of art. Seriously, it's a masterpiece of dark comedy. One friend is considered valuable because he's, quote, nutritious and has tender meat, just in case they run out of food. And the guy who's the perfect sacrifice? It's because he's so out of it he probably wouldn't even realize he's being abducted. Man, that is friendship at its absolute finest, right?
So, just as they're about to send their buddy out to what is probably a very gruesome end, a light bulb goes off. Wait a minute, we have a drone. But of course, before this little spark of hope can even be used, a whole new argument breaks out. Who gets to fly it?
So Karthik steps up. He makes his case, claiming that all those years he spent on Grand Theft Auto helicopter missions have basically been training for this exact moment. But his friends, they are not convinced. And the whole argument just spirals into them listing every single time he ever refused to share his toys, from cricket bats to pens for an exam.
So, after a very heated debate, Karthik actually wins. The fate of the entire group is now resting on his shoulders and, well, his video game skills. So he launches their one and only eye in the sky, really hoping he can find a way out of this mess. And the drone footage immediately shows a pretty horrifying sight. Their mean way out isn't just blocked, it looks like a complete disaster zone. There's all this mysterious digging and weird activity. The road they know is gone, and it looks totally alien.
Okay, so what about their backup plan? The little dirt path that goes to the highway? Nope, no luck there either. It's also blocked.
and you can just feel that noose tightening around them, that horrible sense of being completely boxed in.
So as the drone is scanning this empty landscape, it picks up something else, something really unsettling. In the jungle nearby, there are these weird, cryptic symbols carved into the trees. But just as they're trying to get a better look, the drone hits its maximum range. It can't go any further, leaving them with way more questions than answers.
3 kilometers. That's it. That is the edge of their world now, the boundary of any hope they had. Their only tool for seeing what's out there just wasn't enough, leaving them totally blind to whatever lies beyond that point.
So the drone comes back, mission failed. The friends are just left with this chilling, horrible realization that they are completely cut off from the world, totally isolated. Their one piece of high-tech hope only managed to confirm their absolute worst fears. There is no escape. You know, this story is more than just a funny sketch. It's a terrifyingly real look at how quickly fear can just tear logic apart. And it really forces you to ask yourself, when you're faced with something you truly can't understand, is your own mind your greatest asset, or is it your most dangerous enemy?